Hello, welcome to our video on our chalk pastel landscape. It's actually my second attempt at this video because for whatever reason my phone decided to flip the other one and it's really difficult for me to flip it back to the way that I want it to be. So I'm just going to make it again. So our icon statements for this project were that I can draw a landscape, a simplified landscape in glue. And hopefully you've done that and it's dry and ready to go. And then I can shade and I can make color choices based on the color wheel. So I have a color wheel here and I'm going to use that to help me figure out which colors I can blend together well. So let me show you what I've done so far. So this is my landscape and doesn't fit all in the video. So I'm going to start down here and it goes like this. And you can see it's darker down here, right? And it slowly, as it goes up, lighter and lighter and lighter. So I've shaded, but I've also blended colors according to the color wheel because let me show you, there's some blues down in here and greens and lighter greens. And as it goes up, we get more into yellows. So let me show you this color wheel again. So if green is my main color on those hills, which it was, I can shade into blue very easily down in the bottom, and I shaded up into yellow as I got near the top. So using the color wheel, it tells us which colors blend together very easily and very nicely. We call those analogous colors. Colors that are in a row in a color wheel, we call analogous colors. And analogous colors are like a family of colors. They just go together really well. If I try to blend green and red, and jump across the color wheel, I'm gonna end up with a lot of brown. And that's not what I was looking for here. So, and I want you to try to mix analogous colors. So I want you to think, okay, hey, and you don't have to use real colors. They didn't have to be green. They could have been orange. They could have been any color. Maybe I'm gonna make my trees purple because why not? And if I'm gonna make my trees purple, I can blend blues or reds into those purples. I want to stick with analogous colors though. So I sort of pick my main color and then it tells me what other colors I can blend into. I believe the icon statement says I can make color choices using the color wheels and blend colors in at least 3 areas. So really you can blend colors in every single shape that you have. And I said you had to have at least 5 shapes. I have a lot more than 5 shapes in this one. I think I'm going to go up to the sky for this video. So you can see I have quite a bit of paper here. There's some chalk on my table that I have to clean up. I have quite a bit of paper up there, so I'm going to definitely not want to just make it blue. Okay, I don't want to do that. That sounds pretty boring. If I'm going to make it blue, which I could, certainly the sky often looks blue, then I want to go from dark blue into light blue. And it would be lighter down here because this is the sun. Because the sun is our light source. But I'm not just going to use blue because I think the sun is going down. That it's a sunset. And because it's a sunset, its primary color might be something like orange, right? The main color might be something like orange. If you notice when you're coming to school now, the sun's starting to come up during that time and it's usually quite pink in the morning. So sunrises can be quite pink. Sunsets are often quite orange. And I'm going to go with orange on this one. So looking at my color wheel, if my sun is orange, I know I can mix easily into red and I can mix easily into yellow. So I'm going to find those chalks. There's a orange. There's a yellow. I'm looking to see, is there a light orange? You know, what are my choices here? And it looks like, yeah, there's sort of a yellow orange here between those, as well as red, which I can blend into. Those look like the same, I guess. And maybe even a light yellow. So I have sort of this family now. These are my analogous colors. But I want my sun to be predominantly orange, so I'm going to start with orange. Now in my hills, I never had a hill that was only one color. I always was blending into blue or yellow or light green. Sometimes all of those colors were in there. So I'm not sure if I'm going to make my sun only orange, but I'm going to start there. Wow, that looks really intense, doesn't it? Really orange. So I think I'm going to try to tone that down a bit and put some lighter color on the outside of it. So I'm just using the lighter orange here. And we're just going over top of it, basically. Maybe some regular yellow up on the edge too. And you can see, I don't know how well you can see it in the video, but there is some paper showing through there. And I'm going to use my, just use my finger to blend it. You can use a Kleenex if you don't want it to like dry out your skin, because it can be kind of drying. But I'm going to kind of stick in the regular orange area first and then move into the lighter areas. When I'm doing this, I'm noticing lots of like chalk. You can see this is all just dust, chalk dust, and I have to throw that away and dump that in the garbage. So make sure that you are cleaning up as you do this, so you're not just leaving it around. So now out here, I can say, okay, I might use kind of reds, kind of lows in my sunset, sorry. And maybe I'm going to use some of this orange out here carried out from the sun as well. And then I'm going to use lots of this lighter color though. Lots of this lighter color around in here. I don't need to like cover every area of my black paper when I'm doing this at first, because you know what I'm realizing? That because the sun is here, I shouldn't just have my dark colors low. Then I need to get dark again up here, because I'm getting away from the sun. So the darkness has to be up here too. So I'm going to put a bunch of red in there to make it darker. Bring it down in here. Oranges again. Down lighter by the sun, right? Because the sun is the light source. So am I going to get darker as I get further away from that? And if I wanted to, I can go into some purples or blues up here. Okay, so the reason I could go into purple, because I was all the way to red, purple. So then again, it looks all kind of messy right now, but I can easily just begin blending all of this. And if I find that, hey, this isn't covering the paper, I can add more. However, I want to begin to smooth that out to look more like a sunset. But I've followed my color wheel, so I know those colors are going to easily blend together to make that sunset. In here, again, there's yellow, light green, dark green, and then maybe a little blue down in here. For my trees, you know, maybe I use some orange on this, just on my finger, to say like, oh, it's, you know, sort of shining off the tree, but I still make my tree another color. So I would have to decide what color I want those trees. I don't think I'd want them to be green, because my hills are green. Maybe they are fall trees. Maybe they're going to be kind of oranges and pinks, or I think maybe I still like purples and pinks. So pink, remember, is a lighter version of red. So pinks would fall in here with purple. So I'm going to make sure I follow that color wheel whenever I'm mixing. Make sure I'm thinking about where's the light, where's the dark. I should add some shadows under these trees probably. And so I have that shading, light to dark. I have my color mixing, and I want to color my whole page. The only thing that should still be black is where these glue lines are blocking the paper.